however long, then I don't know, we could probably agree to like take a break from each other or something. Shit like that, like stuff like that, willing to make like sacrifices and shit.
Take a break, you still remain loyal?
Yeah.
Take a nugget man buzz and then I break it down. Take a nugget man buzz and then I break it down.
Hold on, stop. Cause I got a few questions for you, big dog. You're supposed to be king, right? The big guy from Tekken, you know, with the muscles and shit. So how come you looking so fucking thin, bro? Need to put some meat on them bones, bro. And how come it was so easy for me to pick you up? Like, you're supposed to be the one picking me up. So, like, how come that was so easy? And on top of that, where the fuck did I get all these fucking hundreds from? Like, I'm fucking broke as hell. Like, is this a dream or something? So what the fuck? Come on, it's greens. Fucking hate this shit, fuck! Don't let it slip away. This Indian guy's so fucking oh my god. Oh man, this Indian dude's so funny on these games, man. Bro, I gotta play some of my own, man. Hopefully I can run into him. CS2? Nah, I don't feel like playing that right now. Elden Ring? Nah, too hard, bro. I'm just trying to chill, maybe crush some kids, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, what else do we got? We got FGC. We got Street Fighter, Tekken 7. Nah, man, wait. Hold on, what's this category right here? Game changers? What the fuck is...
There is no coming into consciousness without pain. A quote by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung suggests that pain and suffering are constants in the human experience. Whether you're a refugee in a war-torn country or a self-made billionaire, you're destined to experience pain more than once in your life. Now, of course, your boy here has seen his fair share of pain.
Streets killed me.
I mean, some of you might even say I had it rough. My goal today isn't to say that life is nothing but suffering. Of course, we have our good moments too. But even those great experiences can be easily washed away when reminiscing about the real shit ones. And just like putting perfume on a rotting corpse, there's no amount of joy that can match the stench of certain memories. And your boy here has been in the proverbial dump as of late. For the past 2 years, I've suffered nightmares that Vietnam vets could only dream to have. The emotions from the initial event come back to me like acid reflux. And my only pain relief? Doom scrolling on TikTok and hard liquor. Shit's so bad that I've considered giving up my YouTube dreams and moving back to Chicago to work my way up the ladder of my favorite hot dog restaurant. Now, as some of y'all know, I've talked about getting rejected by my crush in front of the whole school, getting kicked out by my uncles and having to move across the country on short notice, and even mentioned the shooting that I got into when I was 10 years old. But there is one wound that still aches the most, bringing back intense pain like a bullet wound that's yet to heal. Right about now, you're probably wondering, what's keeping this guy up at night, man? And let's stop pretending, man. You read the fucking title. It's this game right fucking here. To put a long story short, this game ruined my fucking life. Well, kinda. But in order to tell you that story, I have to take you all the way back to the bygone era of 2019. Your boy Dame's interests are looking kinda different. I've got Kai Dreams and Joji on repeat. I'm practicing my ollies and desperately crawling my way out of bronze in Overwatch. At this point, I play fighting games about as much as your older brother did back in the 2000s. I've already heard the legend of Evo Moment 37, and I've seen Poke Chop versus Real Law, some A-class shit talking, but you know, I'm not a big fan of fighting games, you know, I just watch it when there's nothing else to do, you feel me? And on one of those late summer days, there was nothing to do, so I decided to watch some fighting game clips. But something about that day is completely different, alright? My itch for hype moments and aura are through the roof. I'm watching a lot of clips of Dragon Ball FighterZ and rewatching the Daigo parry for the 37th time, but you know, nothing's really piquing my interest, you know? I'm ready to turn it off and start watching dashy games or something. Or at least I was, until I finally clicked on a video that changed the way I viewed fighting games for the rest of my life.
Shining star from Tennessee, Lil Margin. Little Margin.
It ain't easy getting someone with the attention span of a toddler to lock in for a 2-hour live stream, but watching some black dude duck Korean niggas while playing as a Mexican with a Jaguar mask is definitely one way to do it. I mean, everything about this run was just straight sauce, man. The commentary and crowd reaction was enough to get anybody invested into it, but you throw in Lil Majin's high IQ gameplay that can only be replicated by someone with the same amount of experience, and you create something that's inspirational to the masses, bruh. Like I said, I've played Tekken before, but the only thing that I knew how to do that I considered high level was the 10 strings. But this video right here showed me what fighting games could be when you use the training mode for a little bit more than Hadouken practice. I mean, there was just something about the way the game was being played that sold me. The way both players would bait the other into making a mistake to try and capitalize on it. The way that knowing what the enemy was gonna do was heavily rewarded with a combo that was as visually appealing as it was devastating. All of it really got me itching to get this game, and so I did. And I was fucking trash at it, but that's besides the point. Skill level aside, after getting this game, I couldn't hop off of it. The reasons I stated earlier were exactly what was keeping me going. But not only that, improving felt great. I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of nights where I went to bed in tears because I was getting my cheeks torn up by a Hwoarang string that my primitive brain couldn't understand yet. But for every single one of those moments, there was an equally euphoric aha moment where I finally understood what the string was doing and how to combat it. There was literally an answer to everything in this game. Lydia was spamming strings in your face, just backdash so they whiff, and then you can send that Polish bitch back to the motherland. A king player keeps trying to put his hands all over you, just duck or throw break to show that motherfucker who the real king of the jungle is. The loop of getting your ass kicked, understanding how you got your ass kicked, and then preventing yourself from getting your ass kicked in the future was second to no other gaming experience I've had within my 22 years of life. There was one thing about the game that I didn't enjoy though, and it was the aggressive players. You know the kinds I'm talking about. Those troglodytes who would do nothing but throw shit in your face with zero respect. No game plan, no use of spacing, and no regard for your mental health. But if getting spammed with jabs and strings wasn't bad enough, there were characters who actually made this playstyle viable. Names like Eddie Gordo, Hwoarang, and later Fakum Rang sent a giant log on a one-way ticket straight to my cheeks every time I saw these motherfuckers in rank. At the time, I just assumed that these characters were beginner-friendly picks that your mongoloid stepbrother can use to actually stand a fighting chance against you. But little did I know that this playstyle was a red herring for the future of the franchise. But you know me, I wasn't gonna let a few bitch-ass spammers ruin my fun, and for the next 3 years, Tekken became my life. I bought every single game, tried hunting down collector's merchandise like this fight stick right here, and even defended it with my life when my friends used to call it ass. I mean, if we really want to get technical, Tekken is what started my commentary career. The first ever commentary video I posted on this channel, which is still up by the way if you want to check it out, is a 3-minute rant where I talk about how my ego got me humiliated by some troll on Tekken. Shout out Ken by the way, I don't know if he's still watching my shit. You know, for a long time, I really wanted Tekken to be one of these recurring things that always show up on the channel, you know? Whenever I hit a milestone, I do a Tekken stream, you know, maybe play the game with some fans. I even had an idea to do a Road to Tekken God series on the channel. By the time I really wanted to put it on the channel, the game was already dead, there was no new content, and it would be at least about 5 or 6 years before a new Tekken game came out. Calling this reveal a game changer would be a huge understatement. When I first saw this reveal, I was hyped. And that beautiful gameplay trailer we got at the State of Play was icing on the cake. We were really getting a new Tekken game with muscle definition and graphics that made Tekken 7 look like balls 3D. I mean, it was hard not to get a chub thinking about what King was gonna look like in that beautiful engine. I mean, after that gameplay trailer drop, my delusion was shifted in the 6th gear. I was ready to turn Dame into a Tekken only channel. I bought the $100 deluxe edition as soon as I could, putting my faith solely into the hands of Harada and Michael Murray. But soon after making my pre-order, a much more naive Dame was god-fisted back into reality. So they finally show off the game in a new Tekken talk or whatever, and the graphics look good as fuck. There's 100,000 particles flying all over the screen, and King looks sexy as hell. But the one thing I literally never want to hear when talking about Tekken was said in this live stream, and it was when Harada told everybody that the game was going to be a more aggressive experience. Now, if you remember anything I said in the past 5 minutes, you know that aggressive gameplay is a big no-no for Dame. Even from there, I was a little bit thrown off. It was no fun going against characters like Fakum Ram or Huareng, who had these moves that put you in block stun, where all you could do afterward was either guess right, eat a low, or eat a full combo and have your health destroyed in 15 seconds. And now not only was every character gonna play like this, but they had some stupid ass meter burn that gave them a dash, bonus properties on moves, and super armor. Your boy was not happy to say the least. And after trying out the beta, my disappointment only grew. But you know, I still had my hopes up. You know, maybe the game will get a little bit better once it actually drops.
Nigga, no!
So the game finally comes out, and I released my King Stocks Are Up video. And to put a long story short, there's a big reason why that's my only Tekken 8 video on the channel so far. What reason is that, you ask? The game fucking sucks, that's why. Not only is aggression buffed, but defense is nerfed. Want to backstep to create space from your enemy's pressure? Might as well lean back in your actual chair. That's as much space as you're fucking getting. Want to sidestep any move in the game? Good luck. Half of them track. Want to sidestep a grab? Good luck. They track too. Also, whose wall biting ass idea was it to add chip damage in a Tekken game, you stupid ass motherfucker? But the one thing that made this game insufferable to most players was the forced 50-50 that all the characters could put you in. You see, in previous Tekken games, you needed proper spacing and defense in order to be good at the game. Now all you have to do is hit your enemy with a full screen move, spam your strings, and hope they block high instead of low. I mean, seriously, do you know how bad it has to be for one of your biggest fans to go from this?
Oh, yes! Oh, he got him! Oh, my God, it was a low at that range! Jesus! This isn't gonna work. We're gonna need to get a stun double in here. I need a stun double in here.
To this?
Man, Q-Dance is winning. I wouldn't have expected that. Dude, this fucking game sucks. The guy we just watched is like the inventor. And watching him play right there looked like I was watching a 10-year-old.
Man, I remember when I finally put the game down for the last time. I was playing against some top tier, getting my ass handed to me. I couldn't defend anything they were throwing out at me. With my anger building and my brain out of options, I decided to turn that motherfucker off and started only pressuring my opponent while spamming all of King's tricky moves and grabs. And guess what? I fucking won. What did I do? Did I celebrate maybe? Start jumping up for joy? Maybe clapping my ass cheeks out of pure euphoria? No, I deleted the fucking game, you idiots. To me, it simply felt like character expression had to be thrown out to get a win. No longer could I play King how I wanted to. A defensive beast who only threw out grabs when he needed to. I had to play him just like everyone else online. An aggressive meth head whose only goal was to put you in 7 positions like Tory Lanez. The years of learning my opponents in the lab were gone, only replaced by mindless blocking and flow charting. Characters were easier to play than ever, and Tekken went from a game of mind games and hard reads to something closer to shooting dice in a New Jersey strip club where rolling wrong resulted in serious brain damage. I mean, it's honestly an understatement to say that fans were not happy with this game on release. And honestly, I was right there with them too, man. At the time, I felt like there was so much riding on this game being good, bro. It was my one chance at some sort of online success. And as soon as it released, I'd become a household name in the Tekken community. But this game proved to me that we're living in the worst timeline imaginable, and that this was only the beginning. Fans from all over the globe begged for something to change, but the only thing we got in return was our fan favorite characters getting turned into these disgusting 50-50 stance creatures. We wouldn't get a response about the future of the game's design design until Season 2 was announced, where they told us this.
シーズン2においては 3D 格闘ゲームの
Players everywhere rejoiced. We were finally gonna get defense buffs, and it actually sounded like the developers cared about what we had to say. At this point, the community was grinning. You know, we were gonna get a good game. Yeah, that's what everyone thought until Season 2 actually dropped. Did they buff defense? Yeah, but they buffed offense about 100 times more. Any character that didn't have a good tracking move was given one. Top tiers were given the shit that took out Juice WRLD, and to top it all off, every character was given new moves, most of which added towards the 50-50 bullshit that everybody hated. Wall carry was way better, combo damage is ridiculous, and characters were even easier to win with than they were at launch. Fans were furious, but unlike last time, so was Harada. I mean, shit was so bad, this nigga was moving like Vince McMahon in 2007, firing any and everybody he could. Not only that, but he was telling us exactly why this game was the way it was. Fans were pissed, Harada was on damage control, and I didn't play this update at all, man. I didn't want to play as a roided up king, and I definitely didn't want to roid rage on my girlfriend after getting 3-0'd by a mongoloid who only knew how to press 2 different buttons on a top tier. As Tekken 8 went down, I decided not to go any further with it. But you know, there was one thing that kept gnawing at the back of my head, and it was the thought of what could have been, man. In a parallel universe, I'm grinding out a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time, but instead I'm sitting here heartbroken, directionless, and struggling to make ends meet in the middle of an economic recession. I opened this video with a quote about pain and how you're fated to endure it. And although at first it sounded bleak and doomy, sometimes pains like this one teaches you things about yourself that you probably wouldn't have figured out without it. Tekken 8 taught me to never put your full faith into things that you love, because sometimes those things just don't love you back. And with that, I leave Tekken 8 for good. It wasn't the game I wanted to be, and quite honestly, it left me emotionally scarred. Although I didn't get to make a career praising it, at least I can make one good video shitting on it. Wait, what? You said they dropped the update? And they're actually fixing the defense? Like for real this time? Oh shit, yo Caleb, get the mask, we gotta film another montage.